Hey, this is Delitra,
Hey, everybody, this is Angela,
and you're listening to Nutrient Sisters.
a podcast dedicated to helping you learn how to nourish yourself. Hey! Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nutrient Sisters. Delitra and I are the co-hosts.
Hey!
And today we are going to be giving you the breakdown on something that many of you have seen in the news lately. It's Adele's weight loss and the specific diet that she used. So now, Delitra, are you a fan of Adele?
I am. I'm a moderately big fan of hers. I didn't really listen to the last album because they overplayed that, but I'm aware of the single. But I'm a fan.
Okay. I mean, I think she's a beautifully talented singer, but I just never really got into her music.
Wow.
I mean, I think I blame the media for that because I think they overplayed her song.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that
Yeah,
can turn me off to an artist.
right. But I will say that I think her being in the news right now is a little bit different, right? Because
Yeah.
typically I hadn't seen or like heard of her much until this year.
Hmm.
Um, I know she went through a divorce, or she's like still in the process of doing that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then, as with any celebrity who goes through a public breakup, we become sort of obsessed with them.
Yeah.
So when she posted a photo of herself after months of being out of the limelight, and she had visibly lost weight, the media then became like hyper focused, which is where
Mm-hmm.
we are today.
Yeah. We're talking about her too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right? So, Delisha, I didn't spill the beans on what the name of the diet is. So, why don't you let our viewers finally know?
Yeah. And I just want to point out, this is like her rumored diet. I don't even know if she's even spoken on her weight loss yet directly. I haven't seen that. But the news speculated that she followed a diet called Sirtfood. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. So the Sirtfood diet was developed by two celebrity nutritionists named Aidan Goggins. Of course, I'm going to say this wrong too. Glenn Matton, who worked for a private gym in the UK.
Right.
So, a general background on this diet plan is reported to activate what they call is your skinny gene. So,
Mm.
according to the nutritionist, there are ancient family genes.
Stop it.
That's what they said.
Okay, keep going.
That helps to make us lean. I wish I knew about this. I'm just learning about this.
Right.
When I look at my family, it doesn't look like we have any lean genes. That's
Right.
another thing. So the name of these family genes are called Sirtun, Sirtuin, also known as SIRTs, according to the nutritionist. Because I found their book on Google.
Mm.
And if anybody knows on Google, they give you like a little preview of the pages.
Yeah.
So according to them, this is what the book says. The Sirtuin genes help our body to facilitate the process to burn fat. They also assert that SIRTs help to increase your lifespan. So there's a discussion about the presence of calorie restriction, fasting, and exercise as a key to activate the certs that you already have, your ancient family
These ancient
um,
things, right.
genes. But they report that fasting and exercise is incompatible with most individuals' lifestyles because everybody's busy and we say we can't do this and that.
Okay,
There's
well,
so little time.
right.
So they report. So to solve this, they have introduced cert foods
Okay.
that will activate our lean genes in the best possible way. So they list the top 20 Sirtfoods as kale,
Okay.
red wine. That sounds good, right? That's already
Right. Yeah.
bringing people
Just
in.
number two? Okay.
Right. Strawberries, onions, soy, parsley, extra virgin olive oil, dark chocolate, matcha green tea, buckwheat, turmeric, walnuts, arugula, something called bird's eye chili. Angela, have you ever heard of that?
No.
I looked that up because I wasn't aware either. Basically, it's like a Thai chili, so one of those
Okay.
very hot chilies.
Hmm.
I wonder if you've heard about this, and I'm probably not pronouncing it right. Lovage, Lovage.
Is that an herb?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
I never
basically
used it, but I've
me
heard it.
neither. It's a European plant or herb that's in the parsley family.
Okay.
Um, Another example is medjool dates,
Yeah.
red chicory. Are you familiar with that?
No, I know chicory root, but
Right. So I was like, oh, that's probably that. But it's basically a hard and bitter flavored leafy vegetable. And they compare that to radicchio. And I only know that because I tried that at this fancy restaurant. To me, it tastes like very bitter cabbage.
okay.
Um, Blueberries is another cert food, and capers.
Hmm.
So basically, this diet involves calorie restriction and the implementation of the cert foods that I just mentioned. So now I
Okay.
want to discuss um, what typically the diet plan looks like or your day of eating. So the diet lasts for 2 phases. So phase 1 lasts for 7 days, and the first 3 days you drink 3 cert food green juices and 1 meal rich in cert food. So one of the make a meal out of those 20 foods I just talked about for a total of 1,000 calories.
1,000.
Yeah. so
Ooh, all right.
so the first three days you're eating about 1,000 calories. And I did see that the like a recipe for the green juice um has a combination of kale, other leafy greens, parsley, celery, green apple, ginger, lemon juice, and matcha. Um, and on days 4 through 7, so still in the first phase, you drink 2 green juices and 2 meals that include served foods for a total of 1,500 calories.
Hmm.
So then we go into phase 2, which is
Lord.
considered their maintenance plan. So it's about 14 days. So I'm guessing they expect the first 7 days you're going to dramatically lose weight due to the reduction in calories.
Yeah.
And phase 2, they're hoping that basically you'll gradually lose weight, not as fast. Each day consists of 3 balanced cert food meals, and you still have 1 green juice daily.
Okay.
So that just gives you an idea of the eating plan for this diet. So Angela, this diet is pretty new to me. I'd never even heard of it before Adele got in the news about losing weight. Did you
Right.
find any research on this diet?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, yeah, I think so. You brought up so Aiden and Glenn.
Yeah.
They're the two guys. They're men. Okay, first of all, let's throw that out there.
Mhm.
They created this diet, which the thing that surprised me was that in some articles they're listed as nutritionists. In
Mhm.
other articles, they're just listed as health consultants.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's already a little bit suspicious to me. But
Yeah.
um, and I presume that they live in the UK because that's
Mhm.
like this diet is sort of a UK thing. We haven't really
Yeah.
seen it in the United States yet.
Mhm.
Um, and the research. So first of all, if you go on their website,
Okay.
um, it says on their About Me page that they've completed, and this is in quotes, years of investigative research Sorry.
Mm.
To study polyphenols, okay, which for our viewers, those are plant compounds that have high antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. So
Right.
they are very important. You do need them, okay? Let's
Yeah.
just throw that out there first. But
Mhm.
now this comes straight from their website in quotes. And this is kind of how the diet was formed, right? I guess these two men wanted they did a bunch of research, quote unquote, and
Mhm.
it was the breakthrough finding that not all polyphenols are equal, and that in a
Hmm.
small group could mimic the effects of fasting and exercise through activating our sirtuins. I think they're pronounced sirtuins. I don't know. AKA skinny jeans that have changed the world of nutrition and well-being forever.
Hmm.
End quote. That's on their website. So of
Okay.
course, when I'm playing around on their website, first of all, it's basic. There's really no research that they've listed to support these claims. There's no
Oh.
bio on the two men, so I don't even know who these two guys are.
Mhm.
Um, but and they do have a book, but of
Right.
course, well, I personally am not going to waste my money, but anybody else can if they want to.
That's why it's all for free on Google.
Exactly. So let's kind of move into the research on these so-called skinny jeans.
Mhm.
Um, so sirtuins are a thing, and despite all of my years of biochemistry and
Mhm.
organic chemistry,
Right.
I've never really studied them. But the nutrition world is an ever-growing field.
Yeah.
So these two articles that I found were from 2017 and 2018, and they imply that a sirtuin is a stress responsive protein with direct and various post translational modifications, and as a result, are considered to be master regulators of several cellular processes.
Hmm.
Um, and to go even further, the sirtuin family of seven enzymes, or seven of them, have also been linked to several antioxidant and oxidative stress related processes and functions, including longevity, mitochondrial function, DNA damage repair, and metabolism. So, these were two things that I found on peer reviewed journals.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that sounds good, right? I
Yeah.
mean, so far they seem beneficial to some
Yeah.
extent.
Mhm.
Um, but the conclusion for both of the articles was basically that these sirtuins they sort of work synergistically, via other distinct mechanisms that take place in our body to enhance cellular homeostasis, which for our viewers is stable equilibrium in the body. Okay,
Mhm.
so nerd alert. um, but like I said, I mean, there are seven sirtuins, and they are listed as CERT for short, capital S, capital I, capital R, and T. So if anybody is like sort of a nerd, then they can always go and look at what these certs are.
Yeah.
But there was a peer reviewed article that I found from 2014 that was published, and it's called "The Controversial World of Sirtuins,"
Mm.
which I didn't even think that this was a thing people were studying, but I guess
Yeah.
yeah. So um, basically, though, the main gist of that paper is that they need to be further studied. Okay, they
Mm.
have great properties, but let's study them more because they could help with tumor suppression. They might provide longevity benefits, but I, there's nothing in any of these studies that I looked up that suggested that sirtuins were this quote unquote skinny gene that could be activated with a select few foods. I didn't find that in any of
Right.
these articles.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, these men, I think that they are smart in the sense that they were able to create this diet uh,
Yeah.
for celebrities who fall for things like this.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I'm sure they're rolling in the dough, as is anybody else who creates a diet like this. But
Right.
it's a farce. I mean,
Yeah.
they took some shoddy research and created this diet and sold it to people, and now people are out here trying to activate their skinny gene, and it's
Yeah.
just not really a thing.
Mhm. Yeah. And I saw in the book that apparently they had a pilot study that they did, and, I know you didn't mention it, but it's probably because it was hard to find.
Yeah.
Usually people that like, "Oh, we have our own study," it's
Mhm.
usually hard to find because there's probably something fishy going on, either in
Right.
the design, the process, the results, whatever,
Mhm.
um,
Well,
that's
first of all, yeah, I mean, it's good that you said that because they have a website, they have a book. I don't well, I didn't read okay, I didn't read their books. I'm not gonna mention that. But the website, if they did this investigative research, where the heck is it on their website?
right, I like, again, because we mentioned this in the detox episode.
Right.
You would think that they would wanna boast about those results, and the little that I saw in the book, they said basically that the study, participants were able to lose weight without, losing muscle mass and, basically
Oh,
they think they have a good thing here. But that was just the gist of what I got from that. I figured it
right.
wouldn't be easy to find.
No. I mean, if you did a study, where why is it not on your website?
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's in their book, I don't know, but it's like it's strange to me, like, I get it, like, they're clearly they wanted to make some money and, like, good for
Mhm.
them, I guess. I mean, you did it, so congrats, but
Right.
on the other end, it's like you used super shoddy research, like, haven't really you haven't really told people what this is all really about. You're just, like, throwing out these buzzwords,
Right.
like
Yeah.
we said with our detox one.
Right.
You
Yeah, these
haven't convinced
keywords.
anyone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
all of the food, and maybe this is going on to whether or not I recommend this diet, but
Mhm.
all of the food that you listed, there's 20 things.
Yeah.
All of those are great. I think everyone should include all of those foods. I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with any of them.
Yeah.
Um, but I think people need to understand, like, you are vastly restricting your calories.
Right.
To Have you ever eaten 1,000 calories a day, Delisha?
No, I don't think I ever have. Maybe when I was, like,
Sick.
3 or something? I don't
Right.
know.
When I'm sick, I might eat about 1,000,
Because
and
even,
that's
like, as, like, mid-age, 7, 10, or something, like, we were eating well, let me speak for myself. We were eating all the crap, the chips and the hot dogs and stuff
right.
and ramen, but, we were exercising and
Mhm.
burning things. I don't remember when I ate 1,000 calories. I can't recall.
Right. And, like, I mean, I said, like, maybe when I'm sick, but hello, I'm sick. Like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
really
when
wanna.
you're s I thought you said 6. When you're
Oh,
sick.
no.
Yeah, yeah,
When
when
I'm
you can't
sick,
take
like, when
it.
I'm yeah, like, when I'm, like, throwing up, yeah, I might eat
Yeah,
about 1,000. That's a rid
yeah,
That's a ridiculous
absolutely.
amount of calories.
Yeah.
I have never recommended any of my clients to eat only 1,000 calories.
No.
That's it's sad.
It's I think that's dangerous, especially you gotta think about kinda at the baseline where people are, and maybe it's, like, just for example, 2,500 to 2,700, and then you bring them down to 1,000.
Yeah,
That seems dangerous to me,
that
like
is.
something medically could happen to them.
Yeah, for sure. And
So
I know you're only doing the 1,000 calories for the first 3 days, I think. Um, but
mhm.
there's something to be said about, well, you're only drinking a green smoothie, right?
Right.
So, and it sounds like a really okay. I don't mean to sound really rude. I'm sure maybe the smoothie tastes great to some people, but if I'm gonna do something, I want my food to taste good, and that just doesn't sound like it tastes great.
Yeah, those ingredients didn't sound very
Like,
appetizing.
to put all those things. Have you ever had parsley in a smoothie? Because it's
No,
overpowering.
I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare put an herb in my juice.
Like, it's like, okay, so not only are you restricting your calories for
Mhm.
3 days and you're only drinking these green juices, but now you're drinking something that probably doesn't taste good. So you're probably, like, I don't know, maybe trying to, like, holding your nose and trying to tug it
Right.
so you could just get it over with. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound fun.
No, it doesn't. Nor does it seem like it's gonna, like, fill you up, like, you're gonna be satisfied for a good amount of time. It seems like you're gonna be hungry pretty quickly after
Yeah.
that. 'cause it's just, carbohydrates, basically.
Right.
It's in there,
And
nothing
I
else.
mean, what is the purpose is of just drinking this juice? Is it that you're, like, supposed to is that the thing that kickstarts the sirtuin things? Like, I'm confused.
Well, I mean, based off of the recipe that I mentioned before, it looks like it uses some of the cert foods. So, I guess that's just another way to get those in, but I feel like that is just playing on people's perception of what is healthy, because why couldn't they just eat a meal that included that? Why did they have to juice it?
Right.
What are we getting from the
Yeah.
juice?
And I saw their claim. I mean, if you go on their site, their claim is that you'll lose 7 pounds in 7 days. Um,
Whoa.
yeah. So that's I mean, where's the research back that up?
Right. Apparently in their pilot study, that's where it
I
is.
guess that's not listed on their website, right?
Right. One thing that did, like, that kinda alerted for me is, like, an American would have a hard time following this diet because
Right.
of the unique different plants and chilies and stuff like that, and just, like, the culture of us eating, we don't most Americans are not eating capers
Mhm.
and, different type of green leafy lettuces and matcha. I know some people do, but that's not a common thing I've see in an
Right.
American diet. So
Yeah. Which is why, like, they do say that they've kind of based this this diet because they have recipes and stuff, and they
okay.
do say that they've based it off of the Mediterranean diet, which
Hmm.
is pretty popular. And I mean, every year for the past, like, I think 3 years, it gets voted the best diet
Yeah,
for people to follow. So,
yeah,
like, I get it. I'm like, all right, the food that they listed, the 20 foods, great. It's high in polyphenols, which is really great for you. Um, but the rest of the stuff that they're making you follow, it just seems kind of like they're trying to just brainwash you to give them money. Like,
right. And I worry about people having, like, macronutrient deficiencies. Likely they're, getting enough vitamins from all the green leafy stuff,
mhm,
but, um, from what I remember, the protein options apparently there's some flexibility, but just average Joe looking, "I need to eat these 20 foods." The protein options are soy and walnuts.
mhm,
I know a lot of people that have an aversion to soy for whatever reason that it is,
right,
and walnuts, I mean, I just can't think of, like,
mhm,
me eating that, multiple times, so I would worry that people would exclude those because they don't like them or whatever reason, or they had too much, and then they wouldn't get enough protein that they need, daily,
right,
and also worry about, like, where's the fat in here? I mean, the olive oil, but are you drizzling that over everything? Again, with the walnuts, likely people aren't eating that multiple times per day, so it doesn't seem like it's a balanced, diet.
right. Because, like, what I mean, the thing about a lot of these diets is, like, they always cut out food groups, which
Right,
I never understand. I mean, I guess it's a money maker again, but, like, are we do have we just do we just not like science? Do we not like, we know that carbs give us energy, we need
right.
them. We know about fats, we know about proteins, and for some reason, these diets that come out every year are always like, "Yeah, I mean, but, like, let's just get rid of those proteins," or, like,
Right.
"Let's get rid," and it's like, "Why?"
It doesn't seem like, and just my opinion, it doesn't seem like science is interesting enough to people. They
Right,
like these changes and, "Oh, I'm not eating this for a certain amount of days. I'm fasting for this certain amount of days. I'm only doing a green juice." Like, I think there's something mentally that connects with people where they want something buzzworthy or just seems different. And thinking about it now, I can understand if you feel like I've been trying it one way and it's not working out. Maybe I need to do this. I need this change to start losing weight. So I'll try it. I'll see
right.
what you say.
I mean, and that's the thing. I like to try different diets only
Mhm.
because I like to see what my clients go through, like when they're doing
Yeah.
one. But like, if we know that the Mediterranean diet is one of the best things you can follow,
Mhm.
and the people who created this diet, the Sirtfood diet, um, kind of are highlighting that, then what is what is keeping people from just doing the Mediterranean? Like, it's not really a
Yeah.
diet. Like,
Yeah.
when you do the Mediterranean diet, you don't really get rid of anything significant.
Mhm.
You're just kind of you're eating fruits and vegetables, and
Right.
well, like, you're eating things you're supposed to eat. So I don't know, I get very confused. I guess it's the fun. I don't know. Is there something fun about this? I don't know. I feel like I'm
Unrestricted.
trying so hard to I mean, if any of our followers have, tried this diet, then you should let us know down below.
Yeah.
But another thing that I'll say for why I don't really recommend it is, what are you supposed to do if you're working out? Um,
Mm.
you've dropped your calories to about,
Mhm.
I'll say from about 1,000 to 1,500, which, okay. Um, you're getting rid of a lot of food groups. You're supposed to be drinking these smoothies. Like, if I'm
Yeah.
working out and I'm burning a lot of calories, am I gonna pass out? Like, what?
Right.
Because
That's what
that's
I'm
what that
thinking.
sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking a headache or passing out, fainting.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think that's I guess that's why they said, exercise is incompatible with most people's lifestyles. So instead of exercising, we're just gonna reduce your calories significantly so you don't even have to move. So maybe that's where they're going with that, but I wouldn't recommend someone exercise eating that low of calories. That's just a recipe for disaster.
Right. And you know what? That makes sense. And that might be why people gravitate towards it because you don't have to work out. And people
Yeah,
hate, like, I mean, I hate working out, so I'm not gonna, I can't, like, point the finger at other people, but people really hate having to work out. They hate the thought
right.
of it too. I
Yeah,
know a lot of my clients, I'm like, okay, so you've been doing really well with your food, let's talk about the movement. And they're like,
right.
well, we're good. So
And
I
you know
guess
what? Some people, just like referring to your clients, I know, and I don't know how bigger your clients are, but when I worked in the weight loss field, some people they had knee issues and this surgery here, this surgery there, where they couldn't do traditional exercise. I think they have in their mind just this one boot camp running exercise, and that's the only way you can do it, and
mhm,
that is unattractive to a large percentage of America,
right.
including me. I'm not interested
No,
in boot
that's
camp,
true.
type exercises.
No, that's definitely true. And
Yeah.
so while you were talking too, I actually looked up, I just typed in "cert food." So
Mhm.
another thing that I think kind of draws people to this is the fact that you can have chocolate and wine.
Yeah.
That seems to be like a big thing,
Yes.
the two big buzzwords. It's like, hey, you want to lose weight and still drink wine and eat chocolate?
Right.
And yeah, I mean,
Yeah. That's attractive. That's attractive to a lot of
we
people, like, "What? Chocolate and wine? I thought I had to get rid of that."
right. We're tricking people.
Right. Yeah. But one thing I wanna note with the wine is great, and we have research on, the benefits
Mhm.
of especially red wine, but I wouldn't recommend someone who doesn't drink to start drinking just for a diet.
Right. Yeah.
That is a recipe for disaster, uh,
Right.
I think. So,
And with only 1,000 calories? That sounds like a
yes,
headache to
they're
me,
gonna be drunk.
Lisa. That sounds and I mean, okay, think about it this way. You're drinking wine, you're drinking these smoothies, so you're it's a lot of liquid. I feel like
Yeah.
that's a recipe for diarrhea. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah, or going to the bathroom a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Um, so
So
yeah,
what
this
is it I mean, What is it about so Adele kind of brought it because I saw that, like, Pippa, who's that? Kate Middleton's sister, Pippa did
Yeah, I was
it.
gonna say, who is that again? I saw Middleton, Pippa
Yeah.
Middleton.
I saw there's actually some Instagrammer, Lorraine, I think, does it. Lorraine Pascal, I think is her name. She does
Oh,
it,
that
but what
sounds
is it
familiar.
about Adele that we're like, wow, like Adele was so fat and now she's so skinny? Like, what is
Right.
it? That's so
Yeah.
sad. What's going on?
So I'm gonna get on my soapbox a little bit.
Oh,
so,
whoa.
so bear with me because I wanted to talk about this aspect because people are so excited about her losing weight and giving her compliments about her weight loss. Certainly, there are some comical reactions as people question whether or not she'll know how to sing
Oh.
anymore because she's lost so much weight.
Mhm.
And Angela, I don't know if you've heard of this or if this stereotype exists in other communities, but I know some Black people believe that fat people are the best singers. Have you heard of that before?
I have. You know who I first heard that with? Well, not first, but Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
who, when she
Yeah.
was on American Idol, everybody was like, "Yeah, that girl can sing, and
Mhm.
she's big."
Yep.
And then she lost some weight, and people were like, "Well, I hope she can still sing." And it was like, I hope so
It's
too. I mean,
so ridiculous.
it is.
Ruben, who else? Luther Vandross,
Yeah,
uh, older singer, not really our generation, but I still know him.
yeah,
He was bigger, and then he lost weight. It's a ridiculous, I would say, comical stereotype that people believe. But
right.
I saw a source because, like I said, I haven't found where she's actually talked about this. So a
Mhm.
source reports that she is physically better now to promote new music. And I'm not sure exactly what
Hmm.
that means.
I don't know what that
So
means either.
so clearly stamina is an important thing in musical performance,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I've never seen Adele have an issue with this, like in
No.
her performance or other similar like large frame bodies like Lizzo. Lizzo is twerking on the stage. I mean,
Mhm.
Adele's just, standing there singing, but Lizzo's twerking and rapping and singing. And
Mhm.
Missy Elliott, I
Mhm.
mean,
Right.
one of the queen rap artists as well as choreography. Like she's known for her movement. So
Right.
not exactly sure where they're going with that.
Yeah.
Um
That's
it's weird. That was a weird comment, I think.
it is.
And personally, like from my personal experience, I've fluctuated between being in a smaller body and a larger body. And I
Mhm.
can say from experience that I'm treated in different ways
Okay.
depending on my body frame. And I don't know if you experienced this, Angela, because I feel like since I've met you, you've been the same
No,
frame.
girl, I fluctuate too, but
Do you? Okay.
I I haven't personally felt that, but I've witnessed it
Mhm.
for a lot of my clients. Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
see the way that doctors treat them, I see the way, that people talk to them, um,
yes.
when they're in a bigger body.
Yeah, there's definitely some prejudice that exists being bigger. So I've noticed I attract different men as a skinnier woman.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
say like, I had more options then.
okay.
So I've seen a tweet relevant to this, like with Adele. So the tweet it showed her body slimmed down, her
Mhm,
posing in this picture, and it said someone said Adele went from Hello, so her single,
mhm,
to WTF do you want?
mhm,
So, basically, before in the Hello song, she was begging for attention,
mm,
and "Hello" from the other side, I must have heard
right,
1,000 times, and now that she's skinny, she has the power. She's like, "What do you want?" That's
yeah,
basically what they're, saying,
referring
and
to,
not
yeah,
so, of course, there's men out there that like larger women. But I'll say in my experience as a larger woman, it was like men were making like the exception for me. So it's like, oh yeah, I usually like, skinny women, but I'll have you, or I
hmm,
like a woman with a little meat on her bones. It's like, this is not attractive at all. That's not a
Mhm.
compliment, and, if you like bigger women, that's what it is. If you like smaller women or if you like a mixture of, different body types, I don't think that's a way to like, a pickup line for a woman.
Right.
Like, "What?
No.
That's not attracting me to you at all."
Right.
But
Like the fact that you have to let me know, like, "Hey, you're the exception." Like,
right. It's
what?
like,
What are you
"Oh,
talking about?
okay, now I'm in love with you now because I made
Right.
it."
Right.
But I could care
No.
less now, I'm married, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I did notice the difference, and I'm sure there's other women that see that as well. It's a strange thing.
Yeah,
Um,
well, I've seen a little bit of that too because she went through a divorce, and so a lot of people,
right.
when women go through divorce and then they start to quote unquote look better,
Mhm.
and you're like, yeah, like she doesn't need a man, she didn't need him,
Right.
or like, oh yeah, she must have been so depressed with him that she just let herself go.
Right.
Um, and it's just like, so I see it in the media all the time with all these
Mhm.
like people, and Adele, unfortunately, is
Right.
now is now being put under the lamp. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I she looks great either way.
Mhm.
Um, if she did do the Sirtfood diet, I honestly hope she doesn't talk about it. I don't want it to get that big. I mean, sorry to the
Right.
Sirtfood, sorry Aiden and Glenn. I mean, good for you, but I'm so over the diets that people create. I just
Mhm.
This whole
Yeah.
idea that we all need to just be skinny is kind of ridiculous.
Right.
We
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
I
I agree, and, I mean, if she did come out and say that she did it, it would just make more money
Yeah,
for the 2 guys, so,
right.
um but another thing I wanna note is the comments are different, just from my experience, so, when I'm smaller, people and I think we kinda talked about this, not on the episode, but just, like, personally.
Mm,
People are amazed at, quote, unquote, "my ability to stay thin," or assume I know nothing about the experience of, uh, gaining weight
mhm,
or ever, having to lose weight.
right.
And people can perceive me as a role model or a picture of health because
Mhm,
I'm smaller.
right,
And listen, I'm nobody's role model. I have no children. I don't have any younger siblings looking up to me.
right.
I'm just trying to figure it out like everyone else is.
Mhm. No, for sure. And I think, like, my last comment on this is the fact that weight loss is always the first thing that we talk about when we see someone. Like,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
for Adele, like clearly she's going through a lot. I know she had a child or two maybe with her ex. She's going
Yeah,
through
I
a
know of one for
divorce.
sure.
Um, so the fact that we're like, wow, she's so thin, look at her. It's like, first of all, you don't know what she did to lose that weight. Is she
Yes.
depressed? Like,
Yeah.
is she going through a mental health struggle? Like,
Right.
maybe she didn't want to lose that weight. Maybe she's grieving. Maybe there's something that you
Yeah.
don't know is going on. Maybe she had to get surgery, and there's you just don't know. There's like a plethora of things that could be going on with Adele. So
Yeah.
even if she did lose weight, like why do we always have to just talk about her weight or
Yeah.
anybody's weight as
Yeah.
the first thing that we go to? Like, wow,
Yes.
she's skinny, good for her.
Yes. Why do we have to bring that up? And that makes me so mindful when I see someone going through weight changes. Like,
Mhm.
I won't mention it unless you mention it,
Right.
but I know it's, like, a habit of most people to be like, "Oh, you lost weight," or at least in the Black community, and I've heard, like, in other, ethnicities, like, weight is the first thing that your
Mhm.
family will comment on.
Yeah.
When you see them for Thanksgiving or something like that, "Woof, like, you gained weight, girl,"
Yes,
and it's
yes.
like,
Especially during this
"Wow."
quarantine thing, it's been like, "Oh, you eating good, huh?" It's like,
Right.
sorry, what?
Excuse me?
What is that? What are you talking about?"
Right. And it's
So
basically, I don't know where they're coming from because I've never done that before. I don't know if they're trying to say that to shame you into losing weight.
mhm.
I'm not sure exactly where they're coming from, but usually that does the opposite, or it encourages encourages someone to go down an unhealthy path of losing
Mhm.
weight. So either they eat more because they feel bad about what you said, or they may restrict themselves in a way that's unhealthy.
Mhm.
So I'm very careful when I notice a weight change, like weight loss. I know I asked my mom because I saw her lose weight, and I was like, "Is everything good? Everything going okay?" And she was like,
Mhm.
"Yeah." I was like, "Okay, I'm just asking." And she was like, "Well, why do you ask that?" So since she asked, then I started, to
Mhm.
talk about. I was like, "Well, I noticed you've lost weight, but I don't know if that's something that you were trying to do or you got
Mm.
sick or something, is going on." And for her, she wanted to lose weight, but we don't know if Adele followed this diet. I mean, like you were saying, she could, have some mental health issues because of, her divorce or
Mhm.
whatever else is going on, you know, um,
Mhm. Right.
in her life. So,
Yeah, like, you just don't know, and, I mean, we need to talk about this whole idea of just wanting to be skinny in another episode, but
right.
it's just like,
We have an obsession with that.
we do, and it
Yeah.
never used to be that way, like, I mean, you always hear these people talk about, back, different centuries, like, plump I'll say
Oh, yeah.
plump women were seen as being beautiful, and we painted them, and and then through the years, somehow, I don't know what happened, but you needed to be a model, stick
Yeah.
thin, and now it's turned into, like, you still need to be skinny, but, like, still have, like,
Right.
a fat butt and,
Right.
big boot like, ah, I'm
Which
over it.
is not natural. It's
No.
and you know what? There's a small percentage of people that got it like that.
Right.
The big boobs, the big butt, and the skinny, uh, waist, but that is not common and that is not natural at all.
Right.
I've seen too many women to know that that is not a common thing that I see outside of Instagram.
Mhm. Right. Right.
That that body frame is not common.
Exactly. It's
So,
not, and I saw something on Instagram, and it said, if everybody was blind, like, what would you have to offer? Because you
yeah,
just your perception of yourself, your value that you put in yourself is just based on your looks.
right. And I feel like we could go into, like, a whole episode about that because
Yeah, we could.
women are literally killing themselves, making
Mm,
them sick, their self sick to fit into this type of body frame that's acceptable, and they're
mhm.
still not happy.
Mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
I just, wanna end with that because all the reports like, "She's so happy, she's so happy." Whatever you weigh does not indicate anything about your personality, your character, or your happiness.
Right.
Being skinny is not the key to make you happy. It's just not.
Say it louder.
Right? You can still lose weight and be the most unhappy person
Yes.
ever.
Yes.
You'll have some people have moments of, like, confidence and stuff like that, but there's a lot of clients and things that I've seen in documentaries where they still struggle with the same
Mm.
negative,
Mhm.
feelings that they had before. So,
Yep.
Imma get off my soapbox about that because we could talk
Right.
about
I know, right?
so much, about that, but I wanna thank everybody for listening today. Like Angela said, tell us in the comments what you think about this diet. Would you try it? Even listening after our whole rant about, this, because I know there's some people that still will try.
Oh, yeah.
Um, Also share with us if you've ever if you had the same experience I was talking about being treated differently, because of your weight, and that can be an experience in a smaller body or a larger body. Don't forget to rate and review our episodes. Also, follow us on all social media platforms at Nutrient Sisters. And we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.